And welcome back everyone to Starships and Steel. Might be a little bit of feedback at the beginning, but hopefully it's all fixed now. Just finishing up getting my stuff ready. Because I've never tried to do one of these live build streams before. So nothing's in the right spot. See if our chat's working. If I gotta pop it out and put it back in there, which I might have to. Paste, apply. All right, there we go. So today I'm gonna go over how I build my tiles, basically. There's nothing hugely exciting about these. They're just basic wood tiles. Where's the, there's light. So I'm basically building these in larger sections. So the reason I'm doing that, because modularity has its place, obviously, but the important thing to know is I want to be able to switch things out fast. So to do that, I want to be able to have floor plans that are big so I can switch them out quickly. So when the players go out of one building into another building in a town adventure, I'll be able to switch them out quickly so they're not waiting around doing nothing. A couple things that we need for this: XPS foam, sharp knife. This is important, it's got to be sharp. Straight edge is handy so you can measure. I also have a 1/2 inch chipboard template which we can use to draw lines for the boards. We're also going to build a tool to apply nail holes to this. So we're going to use 2 toothpicks and a craft stick for that, and a hot glue gun, which is right here. So hopefully we got audio, so let's just hit mute my. And welcome back everyone to Starships and Steel. Might be a little bit of feedback at the beginning, but hopefully it's all fixed now. Just finishing up getting my stuff ready. Because I've never tried to do one of these live build streams before. Alright, so I was using my microphone on my webcam, which is why it was so incredibly crappy. Hopefully this is much better now, and I'm just going to double check that before we get too much further along. So nothing's in the right spot. See if our chat's working. Alright, so I was using my microphone on my webcam, which is why it was so incredibly crappy. Hopefully this is much better now, and I'm just going to double check that before we get too much further along. Alright, so I think we're good. So if anyone stops by and was watching, say hi. I'll watch the chat and see what's going on. We're going to start by building our tool. So basically we're just going to take, I have one of these somewhere, but I don't know where it is. So hot glue on there. Add your toothpick, wherever you want it, doesn't really matter. Glue on there. Toothpick, line them up. So now we've got, can't see my feed, I don't know what you guys are seeing. There we go. So now we've got this tool. And this tool can be used to add nail holes to your board. So the old one that I've done, light up a bit so you guys can see it. You can see the holes on there. You can see those line up pretty close to right on. And this will mean your holes are exactly the same size everywhere you go. So we'll start up here and we'll do some on this one. Let's go 2, 2, and you can of course make them however wide you want. I'm just going to do that. And it looks good. A little bit of nail holes on there. Well, you guys can see that. It's not really focusing very well. Let's see if I can get that to fix. Turn autofocus off. Alright. Yeah, let's keep it there. Alright, so that's this area here. Light's not very good in here. Sorry about that. You see the nail holes on there now, kinda. So I'm just gonna finish that with these on here. Nice and basic. Basic is good. Makes them way easier than doing them one at a time. So I know I said initially on this announcement that I was going to drink a Lion's Winter Ale, which I'll probably drink on my next stream. It's pretty tasty beer. I had it on tap at Boston Pizza when I was out for dinner with my girlfriend, and I liked it so much I went and grabbed another one, or 6 of them from the liquor store, because it's pretty tasty, very chocolatey. It is the chocolatiest beer that I have ever personally had. It tastes like so much chocolate. However, the New Year's holiday Christmas celebration was horrible. I ate way too much food. And if you watched my post on the Tabletop Crafters Guild, you will have seen that a buddy of mine ran a game with terrain made from junk food, Christmas cooking, that kind of stuff. I ate way too much that night. Way too much. So there was a time when I was a much larger gentleman than I am now, and back then I started a thing from the Men's Health Forum back in the day that was called the 52-Day Challenge, which I found on Facebook. Again, worked for me really well last time. I actually, using that methodology, which I'll talk about here in a second, and having a nice group of people, meant that I dropped over the course of a year 100 pounds, which is not 52 days, but it's close. Well, it's not even close. But we did a couple challenges, and it kept me on track. So what is this 52-day challenge? Is it a miracle? No, it's not a miracle. The 52-day challenge is a challenge which only takes 52 days, so it will be done by the end, not even the end of February. Get this cut out here, and we'll a little bit more. So on this 52-day challenge, the concept is you break each day into 2 blocks for eating. And then you set goals for yourself. So your goals are how many times you want to do resistance training, how many times you want to do cardio training, and how many of those 104 blocks will you eat clean. So I set my goal to 85 clean days for eating. And if I drink beer, I figured probably isn't all that clean even if my calories are in place. So I elected to have my first 2 days, or my first day, be a win. And so I elected to not have beer with you guys tonight. Instead, I'm going to drink a club soda, and we're going to go from there. Of course, if you can stay on the lines, it's better. But we're only imperfect. Alright. Then I take my Uniball pen, which you've seen on my channel if you watch any of my stuff. And I use that just to run my lines through here. Let's be careful because the pen will pop out and make indents where you do not want them. So I play chiefly Conan 2D20. Conan 2D20 doesn't use a grid. It uses zones. And I've tried lots of different ways. In general, inside I like these 3x3 squares to be a single zone. So players can go in a general move, they can do that, or they can go here if they run. But whatever. Alright, so let's do this. Take our sharp knife. I'm just going to trace these in. Trace this one in. Trace that. I don't like going that way. It's better to cut away from here, but I don't want to turn it around on them. So you have to be careful. That. We'll cut this way. If this knife is not really sharp, you'll get tear out when you do the grain. Yeah, it doesn't look very good. So it's better to wait and get a sharp knife if you don't have one. Make our planks in here. Like that. The thing of these that's the hardest to do is the edges. Drawing your line along this long edge. It's a bit tricky. But, whatever. Alright, so let's add some wood grain to this. We'll go from there. And just kind of draw it in like that. As you put 3 or 4 lines in each board, depending on what I want to do. Sometimes I want to put a knot in the board, so this one we'll put a knot in. I put the knot in first. And then, it's hard to see here with the light in my eyes. So once I draw the knot, then I come back in. I can't see it. Let's take our pen and draw it in so I can see where it is. So once I know where the knot is, then I will take my knife and kind of make the wood go around that, as wood does. Like that. And I almost always start and end the piece, or the line. I haven't done a lot of studies on this, but it seems to look the best when you do that. I've watched and looked at a lot of people's wood textures, and that's generally how they look the best. Do this one. Another bad line there. That again. Another knot in there. This part is the part that takes the longest, as you can tell. It's that moment where you're like, man, I hope I didn't keep the stream as private. No one's coming by to say hi. Hurting my feelings. There. These ones are a little bit narrower, so I might not actually put 3 or 4 to do that. Alright. So that's our basic, kind of hard to tell. Hard for me to see too. And that is what we go back in with the uniball. And trace those lines out. Let's grab this, draw a line there as well. You guys see it better now? Not really, kinda. Lighting is my thing I need to spend money on next for my stream, I think. I just bought another webcam, so hopefully I can be visual with you guys. Not that there's anyone here. Hey man, roll for damage. How we doing, buddy? Anyways, yeah, so another webcam, so hopefully you'll be able to, you know, see me as well as the craft I'm working on. Which I think will be super cool. I think having that personal touch is nice. What is up in Roll for Damage's world this evening? Oops. That's what I was talking about. You have to be careful or you'll add extra lines you don't want to. I expect Mr. The Forge is celebrating with family. Was it his birthday this evening? Well, I guess the whole day, technically. Some days I think I'm crazy. But I know there's crazy mothers out there too, so at least I'm not alone, right? Oh, where's my dude? Hey, check this guy out. So I made a paladin like night before, no, morning of. I made this paladin for Pathfinder for that Christmas crawl I was talking about, and this guy had a sword. I'm like, I need a miniature for this. So I cut off his sword, and I found this stamp I had laying around. Like I got all these stamps out of Fimo for texturing clay, and I just glued one into his where the sword was, and now he's got a war hammer. I'm gonna paint him up. He should look pretty cool. Hey, Joe Little. Thanks, man. Hoping you guys can see them. Light's not super good in here, and it's nighttime now, right? So be better once we're in summer again, if that ever comes. My miniature in that game was the only one that wasn't painted, but it was probably the only one converted as well, so whatever. I can't find my nail tool. This is the story of my life. Put a tool down, can't find it anymore. Huh. Where did I put it? No, here it is. Found it. Ah. This is my little tool I made earlier in the stream. I use this just to make my nail holes. So they're always the same size. Boom. Boom. Try not to line them up directly with the grain lines. There. So that's the... Oh, looks good there. That's the first one done. 8 million to go. Having these templates is handy, even if they're not exactly right. So we're going to rotate 90 degrees and go again. Do one kind of in the middle. That's turn. Throw one there. You guys see what I'm doing. Dude, it's 8 o'clock where you are. Do you work this late all the time? Let's put it up here. Put the one down here. All right. Use my bigger knife because I don't want to dull my sharp knife any more than I have to. So we want to have to do grain with. This one is too big. So I'm not a big Pathfinder player, but everyone had these, well, not by everyone, there was I think a couple of these little pocket Pathfinder rule books kicking around at that game. I'm like, those are cool. So I ordered one of those. Better to have my own rules, I guess. I'm going to play every once in a while. It's supposed to be here today. I'll probably review it on channel. Like what I think of it, binding wise and form factor wise. I already like it. Otherwise I wouldn't have bought it. Ah, restaurants, eh? Fun times. I'm glad I did not do that. Hopefully you enjoy it. As you can see, I don't always do the knots first. Really unsure how to do the grain. I would suggest, and I actually just thought of this last night because I'm kind of dumb some days. If you have hardwood floors, or you just look up some pictures of hardwood floors, you can quite often see really nice grain structure, what it looks like that way. And I say I'm dumb because I have hardwood floors. And I was looking at them last night. I'm like, oh, I should have figured that out a long time ago. And for everyone that's watching, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. It's nice to have a couple guys take a look and see what's going on, and hopefully get some ideas, inspiration, whatever out of it. I mean, this isn't rocket science, and I'm sure a million people have done similar stuff, including Mr. Black Magic, which is really where I stole this idea from. Not the giant tiles, but the wood tiles themselves. And when I'm done, I'll do stone sides on them. You see that? Because I think it looks super cool. There's a time when I would watch YouTube and be like, maybe like, I didn't even play role-playing games again yet. I played them when I was young, but I had stopped playing when I switched to war games, and I dropped out of that too. Mostly got into the SCA, and then hadn't really played anything for a long time. But I always liked miniatures and stuff. Got back into the 15mm stuff. And then I would, you know, be left late at night on a Friday or something and be watching like DM Scotty or DMG Info or some of those guys. And the first craft I built, because I was just bored of them, I'm like, that doesn't look very hard. I'm going to give that a shot. DMG Info has some pillars that he builds out of toilet paper rolls. And I think he gets 4 out of each roll. Don't quote me on the number. So I built those. Turned out they're pretty cool. I still use them in my games because terrain. Thinking about adding a segment to the channel. Curious if there's guys still watching and listening, what they think of it as an idea. I've got a $300 entry-level budget Chinese 3D printer. And I was thinking of doing a segment on channel where I review how well models print from Thingiverse or whatever. I already talked about cool ones I find, but I thought it might be neat to be like, I printed this off of Thingiverse on my shit-ass printer, pardon my language, and it turned out excellent or it turned out crappy or whatever, just to give people maybe a little bit of guidance on cool things they can try and print if they have the thing about buying a crappy printer or whatever. I printed, these guys are pretty crappy. But I mean, they're miniatures on a PLA printer, so, or FDM, I don't know what they're called. Additive printers. So, I mean, I painted them up and they were good little iron statues, though. I mean, way better than using cardboard cutouts or what have you. I think anyways. So, but that might be a neat service to the community. Some things print easier than others. Hey, what kind of printer do you have coming there, Joe? Just gonna snap off the blade so I have a little bit sharper blade to work with. I might even spend some money and buy some terrain from like, I think 3D Goblin or Fat Dragon or some of those guys. See how they print compared to the stuff off Thingiverse. That being said, some of the stuff I'm printing now are almost like little freebie samples that the guy has. And you can print, you can go spend $9 and get the rest of it. And those have printed really well so far. I'm pretty happy with those. I've been posting pictures on my Instagram of the stuff I've been printing, which is just available, I think, on my YouTube channel on the top there. And if you like metalwork and jewelry and that kind of stuff, I'm building a couple circlets for my SCA group, so I'm going to post pictures of that on there too. As I build it. Couple basic ones on there of that already, but there'll be more coming. I need to get my ass going on that thing. All those two things. Obsidian, oh. I do archery roll for damage. Joe Little, I run an ANET A8 from China. So my bet is, I don't know, I got going on here. Do 8.5-ish by 8.5-ish. But I don't print anything that big. 4 inches is probably fine. Hopefully that printer works out for you and it's awesome. I know lots of people have had issues with failed Kickstarters with 3D printers, such as the nature of backing new technology. I shoot, back to the archery stuff, I shoot I've actually talked about this in one of my other videos. We got talking about archery. I shoot a Eastern style bow, like a mock horse bow is the best description of it, from a company out of China called Alibow, which is just alibowshop.com. I'll just fire that in there. www.alibowshop.com. the bow shop. Com. So I shoot one of his bows, which is a fiberglass covered in leather, and it's the Genghis Khan on that website. I got another bow from him he doesn't have on there anymore, which is pretty much the same thing. So I shoot Eastern style, Mongol style. In the SCA, I use a thumb ring. I'm not very good at it because it's hard, man. It's fun though. My SCA persona is Mongolian, so no point in learning to do it other ways, right? If you're gonna learn about the Mongols, you should shoot how they shot. More or less. I mean, I don't really like horses. No, that's not true. It's not that I don't like horses. It's that I don't like falling. And I don't like heights when I don't feel safe. So being on an animal that has a mind of its own, being a big dude, means when I'm on a horse, and I'm already 6'5", means I'm really high. And I don't feel secure. So I don't like being on horses very much. So I'm probably not going to be doing combat or horseback archery. But I like doing it from just target. My main thing is heavy combat. Do a little bit of heavy combat. I do a little bit of jewelry stuff. And I do a little bit of archery. And a little bit of drinking. Pretty fun. I do it too much, so I'm trying to do less. I'm trying to get outside more, hike more, explore the outside. I live really close to the Rocky Mountains, so I can get to the Rocky Mountains in like 40 minutes and get to good hiking in the mountains in probably an hour. So I feel like I have missed that opportunity having lived here for 10 years. Damn it. See, that's what you don't want to do. I just skipped off the line there. So just let the pen follow the cut. I might be, especially at shooting horse bows. I mean, I'm not completely suck at it, but I'm not as good as guys who shoot with a shelf and shoot Western and have lots of people to help them out and guide them and that kind of stuff. I got really no one. Kind of watching YouTube videos and making it up as I go. Alright, this should be, as you can see, I guess they're going in there, coming along. It's going to take a while to get this all done and a little while to paint. But I got till, I think we're playing on the 27th again, something like that. A bit of time yet. It means I just can't wait to the last minute like I normally do. If you're rolling around, you play D&D, I mean, it's 3 inches, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You can figure it out pretty quick if you need to do that. I've never ever shot a compound bow. I have no idea what it's even like. It's like the epitome of cheating when it comes to archery. We shoot at one of the biggest ranges, and probably the biggest range in Calgary. They got 20, 30, 40 yard range and then a big 20 yard range upstairs. They cater to the entire community, which is good. Like they cater to the compound guys and the traditional guys. So we're always on the line shooting with a bunch of compound shooters when we shoot. So my buddy shoots medieval crossbow as well, but not at that range. They don't allow crossbows. Yeah, different skill. I mean, different expectations, right? If you are shooting compound, if you're shooting compound and getting groupings like I get some nights, you'd probably want to just hang your head in shame and quit. Because frankly, I do. But I mean, you get some guys who shoot super good, and some guys that shoot less good, but I mean, their groupings are still typically better than what I shoot. But whatever. I used to make my arrows as well, because it's way cheaper than buying them. Well, in North America. When I discovered I could buy arrows from China, that was the end of that game. So now I can buy arrows for, I think it's 20 for 6. And we used to get 6 for like 75 or something dumb like that. Definitely cheaper to China. I shoot bamboo arrows, so whatever. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, right? What are you holy helling about? Stupid delay between what I say and when you guys actually hear it and comment. My bow's probably about 38 pounds to the distance I draw it, so it's not hugely heavy. Once I start getting a little bit stronger with the old iron again, I might see about getting another heavier one. We'll see. Arrow price, yeah. Let's go to Three Rivers Archery and look up wooden hunter arrows and see how much they cost. And add shipping onto them. They get cheaper shipping out of China. Three Rivers is horrible for shipping. I've gone to buy stuff from Three Rivers probably 2 or 3 times in my life, and got to the checkout point, and I'm like, I just can't spend that much on shipping. It doubles the price of your freaking order. Either buying from like Alibo or from AliExpress or whatever is pretty awesome. I mean, it take a little while to get here versus America, I guess, but whatever. Just gotta be patient. It's my favorite thing on the Wish app. It was like, can you wait 15 days? I'm like, I can, but I'm not gonna wait long. I'm not waiting 15 days of order from you guys. It's gonna be like 45 days or 60 days or some dumb thing like that. I think that missed one. My understanding, anyways, between compound and recurve / longbow is after you guys get to a certain point, your poundage lets off. So it might be 50 or 60 pounds to draw, but once you get it past that certain point, maybe I'm talking on my ass here, I've never shot a compound. Once it gets past a certain point, it might only be like 30 pounds to hold. Whereas with the longbow or the recurve, if it's a 40-pound bow, you're going to hold it at 40 pounds the entire way through. Which means you're releasing. I did these already. Which means you're releasing, yeah. My 3-inch grids are strictly from Blackmagic Craft. They are his thing, but I like them too. And when you're holding it at 30 or 40 pounds, or 40 pounds, 45 pounds, whatever you're holding at, when you release, that can be tricky sometimes. Like your hand can kick, or if the bow's got a lot of hand shock, then your hand kicks and moves, and that wrecks your shot. It's one of the reasons I'm busy most freaking nights, because we shoot Tuesdays and Fridays, and I have fighter practice on Thursdays, and that leaves Wednesdays, like tonight, where I'm actually streaming. Awesome. And Mondays as well. I generally try and do things earlier because the girlfriend gets home, and then it's nice to spend some time with her. Usually she works a little bit late, starts later, and then whenever she has clients, she does her thing. It's looking pretty good, I think. Yeah, man, life's super busy. Didn't used to be that way, but it is now, so whatever. What we got for time? 7:24. Before I start that one, I want to talk about the edge here. So it'll be hard for you guys to see this. See if I can rotate my camera a bit. So I normally just take my ruler here and I measure in, either down like an 1/8 or so. Put a mark over here. Measure down an 1/8. Then the tricky part is to line all that up. This is easier to do on a 3x3 tile. A little bit tricky on these bigger tiles. Man, measure down an 1/8. I don't know if you guys can see this, but if you can't, too bad, because I gotta be able to hold it. And I just do this around all the edges. I take that knife again, It's like before. And make a nice shallow cut. It's like before. And I'm totally missing my line. Just like that. Then I normally take my knife and split the difference. And it's like completely freehand, so be careful if you're doing it this way. I don't care if my stones are perfect or not. I do that. Then I come in with my planks. I cut them down. Hit them again with my pen. Missed that one. Don't force it, actually cut it. And I take my pen, write down that, put it down here. Thusly, you just kind of come in and cut some stones wherever you want. These are just kind of eyeball. Starting to get cockeyed there. And I just kind of come back in. Switch back to this because that one's getting a little bit dull. Starting to tear out again. As is this one. We're almost done for tonight, so. Then I go back in with a pen, as always. Just bring out those lines so you can see them when they paint better this way. That one's a bit big. I missed one of the lines. And then do one other thing, which is of course, thanks Joe, probably missed you, but take my tinfoil ball and I just tinfoil up the stone part. Just like this. See, the texture on there is pretty good actually. Important to only hit the stones and not hit your wood. Rotate your tinfoil a little bit so your pattern is different. Alright, and then you get your edge, so you got your tiles. Just rotate this back a little bit. Your tiles, your edge on there. Then the whole thing will look like this when you're done, essentially. So, yeah, you use that the foam mat stuff, right? I played around with that for prop stuff just because I was curious how it worked. This is always in the back of my videos. I never painted it. Like I built a helmet out of that kind of foam. It fits my head and stuff. My glasses off. Like totally fits me here. Ooh. Ta-da! But I don't know if I'll do anything with it. But I thought it was neat. I like all that prop stuff. But I don't have enough time for another hobby, so I've never really gotten into it. I seriously do not have time for another hobby. Well, that puts me streaming for about an hour. Then open my club soda finally. Because this channel, or the stream, was called Floors and Club Soda. So there we have it. This is how I'm going to do the whole thing. So I've got a small one, which will get done, a medium one that will get done, and then I can do a small one like this if I really want to. Be smaller than this one. An L-shaped one. And I might do a little video on my geomorphs if they turn out okay. I'm not really sure how I want to do that, but well, I'll catch you guys all later. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. Don't forget to, as always, subscribe to the channel if you like what you see. Click like if you thought the video was interesting and informative. I hope you guys all got some inspiration and good ideas from this. And I will catch you all later. I'll try and stop by on Friday and maybe do a It Came from the Utter Dark, and go from there. And just for the record, I made that helmet a long time ago. It's probably been in almost every one of my videos in the background since I've been doing this. At least since I've been upstairs doing them anyways. So that's most of this channel's life. But anyways, subscribe, like, comment. Don't forget to comment. You have ideas how to make this better. If you have ideas on how to make wood texture cooler. If you have ideas on why you like the video. Ideas on how I can make my videos better. How to make my lighting better. Whatever. Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you guys. And that's all I've got to say for tonight. So I'll catch you all later.